Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Space Between podcast. I'm Renae Lipsmeyer. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment on these videos. Thanks again for watching. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Space Between podcast. I'm Renae Lipsmeyer and I am your host today. I have Kelly and Samantha with me. And first of all, we just want to wish everyone a happy 420. And in celebration of that, here's a puff to you. Ooh, it's gonna get magical now. Kelly, Samantha, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll tell everyone what we are going to talk about tonight.
You go ahead.
Oh, you want me to go first? Okay.
Sure,
Samantha, I'm from Manhattan, but I moved to New Jersey about like a year ago. I have been a fan since 96. I've been to 105 shows. And yeah, I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
That's amazing. 105
Yeah.
shows. So what year did you
Jesus.
start?
I just heard what you said in my head. Holy moly.
Yeah, I've started
Not
in
a-
97, so I'm probably aging myself a little bit, but
No.
I try to go
Nice.
to as many as I can. Like within, luckily the Northeast, I get a lot of drivable shows.
You
to
do.
But
Yeah,
I'm going to my
You do,
first
that's-
gorge this summer, actually.
that would be easy if they were all
Yay!
compressed into the East Coast and it's such a short drive distance.
Yes, you can hit like 10 shows in like 3 weeks, like no problem, because a lot of night to night double headers, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I am a little jealous that y'all are such in combined space where it's real easy for you to get, because you get to like the Midwest or the South and everything is just like
Right.
hours and hours and hours
Yeah.
away. So it's
Yeah.
harder for us to do that. So let's talk about what has happened today on 420.
Do I get to
other than
introduce
just getting
myself?
high. No!
I mean,
Kelly, who are you?
nobody. Apparently, nobody.
I'm sorry, I love you.
I love you. Hey, my name is Kelly. I'm from Ohio. I have been to 16 shows. I would say 6 of those 16 were just last year with my girl right here, Renae. We did Alpine.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it together, right?
I think so.
That's all we
I
did
think
together.
so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. We always talk about home venue. My home venue. So I'm in Toledo, but Detroit, Clarkston is an hour away. So my home venue is Pine Knob, and then so I mean, you talk about how you're so combined. You can hit 10 shows. I had to go to Wisconsin just to get my numbers up. I took a 5-hour drive. It was ridiculous.
I would love to go to Wisconsin, but it's like
It's ridiculous.
It's a flight.
Yeah. No, Alpine is fantastic, and I have.
Yeah, it's on my list.
What do you have lined up for this year?
Forest Hills, PNC. I still call it PNC, but they call it Homedale now. New Hampshire, Gorge. And I know there's another Jones Beach, like the whole Tri-State. Oh, and Camden. That's it.
No. Oh, I thought about doing
It's
Camden
all-
last second last year, and I backed out. I was gonna do it last second. So I'm all obviously Midwest. So like this year, I only have Pine Knob and Creek End lined up, and that's it. But I'm bringing my 7-year-old to Pine Knob this year for her first show.
Nice.
Yay!
I
And
brought
her
my
chase
son last year to his
song is
first show.
Satellite.
What did
Her
you say?
chase song is Satellite.
Well, she'll probably get it.
Yeah.
She'll probably get it.
So I brought my
She
son
should
to
make a
his
little
first show last summer, and he just wanted to hear One Sweet World.
Yeah. They think
And
they're like,
Summer
okay,
I Caught,
concert's
which are
over.
like my two kind of like bathroom songs, but
Right.
they played it.
Did he get it?
They played it for him.
They
Yes,
did?
he got it.
Oh.
He got it. He's like,
Well,
he walked out, and he'll never admit this. He's like, I get it, Mom. I understand why you love this band. But he'll never admit he said that now. God. He denies it. But he said it.
You heard it, and that's all that matters, right? I heard you once, that's
and
all
he
I
said
know.
it, and he knows it, but he just doesn't want to admit it.
Oh, what is so bad about the Dave Matthews Band? I don't know, like, what these kids are up to, but, like, my kids have I won't say a hate, but like a very strong dislike for Dave Matthews. And I don't know if it's because it occupies so much of my time and they see, you know what I mean?
Right.
But like if it's just not cool because Mom thinks it's cool, but also their dad thinks it's cool. So they're kind of like sandwiched all around Dave Matthews Band. It was never a choice. And so I think the older that they've gotten, the more they can understand it. But like the younger ones are still like, Mom, this is why.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, it is a really specifically niche sound. It's really not like just generic rock that anyone can get into. It's really a niche sound. But on top of that, it's so far beyond out of their, like, even what their circle of friends is talking about. You know, it's like your parents' music, you know?
It is. I mean, yeah, because I can remember, you know, a little bit of when I was younger and my parents would try to, you know, play me a song or a song would come on the radio and they would be like, listen to that. That's such an amazing song. Never once was I like,
really paying attention to it.
I think I want to check into that.
Right.
No.
Right.
The only time I started to really kind of get into my parents' music was when Fleetwood Mac was introduced. And so, you know, they're cool. That's cool. So there's that.
Right.
But they still think Fleetwood Mac is better than Dave Matthews Band. I'm like, I don't think you can compare the two. They're just very night and day.
I always say I would love Stevie to get on stage and like do Spoon. It's like a dream.
I don't know if that's in her range though, is it?
I don't know.
I don't know. Just I love Stevie Nicks. Like,
but like the funkiness of her and the funkiness of the Dave Matthews Band, like something could happen.
Something.
I don't know. Well, let's talk about today. So today is not only 420, where we celebrate the fact that we can be happy with just little things.
Yeah.
But also Monsters dropped today, which yes, we're going to go through Kelly's graphic too. 420 surprises all around.
I'm not always a smoky type person. I mean, the vapes are nice because they're really smooth, but they can be expensive. Yes. You know what I mean? They're really smooth, but I'm not really like I mean, if someone has a bowl, I'll smoke a bowl, but I'm not packing a bowl. I don't have a bowl. Like that just is not like my go-to. Or even
I don't smoke a lot of flour. It's too much work.
What do you call it? Like a one-hitter or a chillum. That's actually a little better. Chillum's better. Or even, but like, and even still, like I would never smoke a joint by myself. That's very like parking lot behavior. You know what I mean? That's like that's like meetup stuff. And I would do it for sure. Like if everyone's passing a joint around, but like I would never just like be in my backyard having a joint. I would much rather just like gummy is like so. It's an exact dosage and you know exactly what you're taking and you know when it's going to kick in. And it's nice to like, I would never suggest driving while high, but if you pop one and then drive somewhere and then by the time you get there, it's kicked in, you know, that kind of thing. So I just think there's way more control with gummies personally.
For sure. For sure. The only thing I don't necessarily like about gummies is they're unpredictable. So sometimes you may not know like how long the high is going to last.
Oh, that's
so you can kind of get.
And sometimes you can go in and out of it too. Like it can wave in and out.
Yeah.
Where you feel like you're sobering up.
I swear to God, sometimes like I'll wake up and I think, am I high?
I did the other day.
Shit from yesterday.
Yeah. I think I took one too late at night and I woke up and I was like, I was like,
I don't know. Some of it stays in your system a really long time.
I agree. High and like I'm still high in the.
Kelly, are you frozen?
Oh. I think she is.
Your face is like this. Oh, you're back. Yeah, just like that.
Oh my God.
She really frozen fucking around with us.
No, I'm here. I'm here. Look, I'm moving. But you guys are delayed. Your voices aren't matching your faces.
Well, you know, that's what Andy will help us with. So.
Oh, okay, great.
Yay, Andy. We love you. Okay, so let's talk about Monsters. So before we dive into the song that it is, does anybody have any preliminary thoughts or notions or stories about this song that, because you said you listened to Sam like the first time in Mexico What was your first thought when you heard it without knowing like the words, just based off the music and how they delivered it? What were your thoughts on this song?
Should I go first? When I first, like, I always like analyze it as soon as the song is over, and I was just like picturing like a little kid almost like, playing sticks and stones and like playing in the front yard, and then like maybe going to sleep and like having like, scary dreams or something like that. But then the more you listen to it, you analyze it in so many different ways. And like, I feel like I listened to it a lot today, and it had to do with just like almost like anxiety and, stress and post-traumatic, like from COVID, and just like trying to like get through life and get through your day with what's going on in this crazy fucked up world, and just like the things that go on in your head, like the monsters that are talking in your head.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree. I think reading through this, and I want to do that in a second, because I do think that he's telling us a story, and I think that's why I'm the weirdo that likes to make sure that like everything is like, this is what I think Dave is doing, and I have no fucking clue, but like this is my educated guess, that he starts us, as if it's a story and kind of leads us through. And what I've kind of pulled from this more than anything is because he almost kind of starts with the kid, and he goes through all the things, and I think the moral of the story for me was that love is always there. Love is always there, and love won't let you go. No matter how old you are, what you're doing, no matter what is inside of your head, no matter what the voices are saying, no matter what people say, love is always there. And that's kind of what I pulled, like very basic across the song, but I'm sure diving into it, and the more I've heard it and the more I've seen people or the more I've seen the band deliver it to me, then I can get a better picture of what that is. But does that make sense for anyone else, or am I totally
I haven't been able to analyze the lyrics yet. I tend to have to listen to the song probably like half a dozen times so that I can almost like hear the song as an entire entity, as a whole, and then find my favorite parts within it. And then, okay, now I can start paying attention to the lyrics. Like, I think I just kind of, as like an overall sound at first.
Yeah.
It's interesting though, like you were talking about the child. That's one of the things that I listened to it right before we got on here, and I made sure to kind of like pick out some key points that you can tell there is like a pattern in his songwriting post him having children. And he mentions children in his songs way more. And you'll pick up on it now. You might not have noticed it before, but you'll pick up on it now that he mentions children and play and childlike things a lot more in his music since having kids. But also there's always a like a duality of that we are all still children, and that we like feel like children on the inside. And it's always like oh my God, forgive me. What is the song where he talks about pulling on her hair, and I won't pull on your hair? God, I cannot think of it now. It's about like having.
Was it ready for?
Is it okay if I called you mine? Da, 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 da. I can't think of it.
Here on out.
Thank you. Here on out. Yes, I was just like brain farting it. So in Here on Out, he does this like again that duality of it. It's almost like a man having a crush on a woman, but when you are in those beginning stages of being in love, don't we all feel like we're in high school again? And like we feel like little kids on a playground. And he talks about like tugging her hair, but then goes into more adult concepts and goes back and forth. I'm not trying to analyze that song. I just mean that like that's an example of how his songwriting has changed since he's had children. And he mentions that in Monsters as well. He brings in that sense of the child. And it's like when we're children, we have monsters under our bed. And then when we're adults, we have monsters in our head. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it just like it's still we're haunted by something regardless. And we're still like I just really like that he's keeping with a theme of like we just remain children for the rest of our lives on the inside. We still have those childlike fears. And then another key thing that I picked up on, Dave has always written about politics and religion. He has always touched on God. He has always touched on a higher power. He was raised Quaker, so he's always touched on that. But I think that as he gets older, I don't know that a song goes by that he doesn't mention God anymore. So there must be some sort of like internal monologue that he's having with himself as he ages. That he just you can tell he must be thinking about it a lot. It must be on his mind, you know?
Right.
That is definitely a question that came up when I was reading this. Is I think at least once, maybe twice, he says the devil wants your soul, but Jesus saves, and then he
That's what
says
made me think
Jesus
of
saves
it.
again
Yes.
in the song. So I'm like,
And I never quite know if he's being like not precocious, but if he's being like almost sarcastic or facetious about it. You know what I mean? Or if he's like, hey, like Jesus
yeah.
is really the way and I feel like he saves, because I don't know where he lies in religion now. Is he atheist?
I've always heard just, what is it when you don't believe either way? Just like
Atheist.
agnostic? Is that it? Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm
I mean,
yeah.
but
Googling it right now.
obviously that didn't come from Dave, so I have no clue. But like that's what I've heard.
I'm Googling it for us. He was raised Quaker but lost his faith in his teens after struggling with the idea that most of his loved ones, including his father, would end up in hell. It would be safe to say that I'm agnostic as of 2001.
Oh wow. Okay.
But again, I feel like and that would get into a higher conversation about all of our religious views, but I do feel like religion can be a spectrum, and just because you identify with a certain religion doesn't mean you can't have little leaking ideas of other concepts, or like rounded, not very stringent ideas with even in your own creed or credo, or you know what I mean? Like just because you say you're a Christian, just because you say you're a Quaker doesn't mean you kind of have these like rounder, broader. Well, I like to borrow something from that, and I like to borrow something from that. So I think that's it. Almost sounds like that's where he's at. Like if he's
I feel like he's just more
atheist,
spiritual than he is
yes,
religious.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I think he's just like
Yeah.
right. So even
spiritual, like
being, yeah, even being
human being.
agnostic or
Just,
atheist, he
right.
still is talking about Jesus and God. You know, so he might have some of those like
Yeah.
lingering, the you know, the hand on the
Mm-hmm.
string.
Mm-hmm. I like all of that. So let's break down some more
Thanks so
words.
much.
Let's break down some more words. Oh, I mean, again, you are just a
You
wordsmith.
are a
You're always
wordsmith.
I work in
I
customer
can't keep up
service, so
with
I can
that. I
bullshit
can't
for a
keep up
really
with that.
long
It's like
time.
way too late for me.
Okay, so let's go to the very first verse. So this is kind of where I think he puts us in like in storytelling mode. He's got us, or at least he had me sitting in a floor, watching a little kid like put up the toy soldiers.
Right.
And I mean, I was doing all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he says he did everything he could to save his paper queen,
Mm.
okay, my first thought is after I heard all this and I went back to that, he did everything to save his paper queen. Why? Because he loved her or because he knew that she was like queen? I don't know, but like if it's that he saved her because of love, then everything in the rest of the song makes sense because he's trying to explain how love will never let you go. And so, I mean, I don't know if he's like saying this is when we first start learning about love, because it is in
Right.
childhood, and then it goes on forever. And I know that's kind of like a bunch of different things, but there honestly were a bunch of things going through my mind when I was listening to it and reading the lyrics and trying to go, okay, which direction is this going? And honestly, a lot of Dave's songs in the past, there's not a path for the song. There is like
Right.
a
It's
highway,
multiple concepts and
intersection.
then like a
It just goes,
lot of
yes, it goes
metaphor.
every way.
Right. There's
Yes.
always a ton
I
of
was just looking at the
metaphor and a
lyrics
lot of
again. I'm not looking at my phone. I was just like reading the lyrics again. Just
no.
like,
How rude.
No, you're right. No,
like
you're
I'm
you're
over
right.
this.
It always seems like there is one or two stories and then also coming at that story from multiple angles. So, like how he goes from child to adult and that, you know what I mean? Like there's metaphor and then there's like what else? Not a similes. See, I told you I would lose the thought.
English is not my
Guys,
topic.
you jinxed me.
Did you watch
He's
the
such a
video?
That
Did you
video
watch
is
the video on
insane.
YouTube? So creepy.
That video
It's
is
like
insane.
AI Dave, but
So
like morphing
great.
into another AI
No,
Dave,
that's
morphing
cool, dude.
into
I
another.
hope they release that video and I hope it gets really popular. I like
Mhm.
the very first time I listened to it, I was laying in bed and I almost fell asleep to it, but like in a good way. It was
I like it a lot.
really even and chill, like in a good way. I almost fell asleep. It was great.
But I
It
just
is.
hear, I don't hear the whole band is not on the song. I mean, it's just Dave and a guitar. So I'm surprised
I
that
didn't even think of that.
Yeah, no, you don't. There's
Oh,
no drum. There's no Stefan. There's no sax. There's no Buddy. There's no Tim. It's just
interesting.
him.
Excuse me.
So I'm like a little like surprised that it was really. I don't know.
You know what?
Stefan
Did
said
everyone?
something on Twitter today too, like that he,
Yes.
yeah, that he like what did play it. Like it's been out for a decade, or they've been playing it for a decade, and I don't know what he was
They've
trying
not
to
been
get at
playing
in that.
Monsters for a decade. I've never heard of this song before.
Well, I guess they were like
I'll pull it
playing
up.
it.
I'll pull it up. Let's see, because he
Oh,
did
they were
say
like they've
something
been
about a
tinkering
decade.
around
They
with
were
it.
playing it, yeah, not for us.
You know what? I heard a lot
And
of
then
smack talk on even like the Facebook groups about so I guess one of the videos for Monsters that was released on YouTube, some intern screwed up and actually released Break Free
Oh, I know. I had it.
with the Monsters video, but Break Free was playing it and it was the album version, so it got
Yes,
leaked.
I heard it.
But it
And I
was
still have
you
the
did.
link, but the link is that's what I opened
oh, the link is
first when I
dead now?
heard it. I went to yeah, the link is dead now. I went
Oh,
to
I should have
YouTube
screen recorded
and I'm
it.
like, this is Break Free. This isn't Monsters. And
Right.
then underneath it, because I use YouTube Music, it says I went to like go to album, and then it had Monsters after that. I was like, wait, did you just release two
So
songs? But like, what's
people were
going on?
shitting
And
on it
then
because it sounded flat. It really did. It was not.
So
But I mean, they are really a live band, and people are saying, "Oh, he's too old to be making studio albums anymore because the last couple studio albums have been just flat and like there's no depth to it, there's no richness, there's no da da da." And I mean, honestly, I would like to redirect you to the Crash album because that almost sounds like it was recorded in a fucking tin can. Honest to God, like I that's one of my favorite albums, but I'm telling you, recording wise and audio quality, that album sounds like it was recorded in a tin can. I think they're in a fine place and people need to relax. I think they're in a
yeah,
fine place. Now, the other thing to also
exactly.
remember, they are a live band. They're going to evolve that song for the rest of the summer. You're going to hear it at the beginning of the summer, the end of the summer, and it's going to be two different songs. I promise you with my whole
totally.
heart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Rooftop is the perfect example. If you've heard Rooftop live and then you go back to the album version, it's like you make this face. You're like, what? It's like lackluster. It's not
Well, that's
even.
how I felt about That Girl Is You. I hated it. Like I hated listening
Oh,
to it.
live,
I
it's
hated it. And
ridiculous.
then, but live, it's like one of my favorite. I have a shirt that says That Girl Is Me. Like I
Yeah,
love that song.
but also hearing Rooftop live did not make me love the album version, but hearing That Girl Is You live made me re-love the album
Yes.
version.
Yes.
I didn't like it
Mm-hmm.
before, and now I'm like, oh, I know what this is supposed to really sound like, and I
Yes.
can enjoy it
Yes.
now.
Right.
But Rooftop isn't the
Yeah.
same way.
I agree.
Rooftop sounds overproduced. It sounds like it belongs on the Everyday album. The Everyday album feels almost too tight to me. I don't really like it.
I
I don't
love
love
the
it.
Everyday album.
I do
There's some
too.
choice pieces there, but as a whole, that's not my favorite. But
Yeah.
that and
I love
speaking
that
of
album.
albums, that was actually another one that I was thinking of because I was listening to Monsters and trying to figure out if it weren't on this album, what album would it be on? And then I was starting to go through the albums. I'm like, nope, that doesn't fit. That doesn't fit. That doesn't fit. It fits the last two. It fits Come Tomorrow and Right Before Come Tomorrow. Again, drawing blank. What album came out right before Come Tomorrow? I could see the album in my head.
Oh my gosh. Not Gru King. I can't remember.
No, it was in between Group
Um,
Rex and Come
Remember,
Tomorrow. It was in between those.
I'm not an album. Let's see.
I don't know. I'm having a complete brain fart right now.
Same.
Well, whatever the answer is,
Yes.
that one.
So basically, the last
Well,
two
now
to
I have
three
to
albums.
figure it out because it's going to bother me.
It's basically it
Um,
sounds like it belongs on
Away
the
from the
last
World.
Away from the World. Yeah, it sounds like it belongs on the last 2 to 3 albums. So we'll call it any one of those. We'll say Groove Grux, Away from the World, or Come Tomorrow. So
Right.
like I was like, does it belong? Because it's really more mellow. And I was like, okay, what's his mellow album? So I'm thinking Before These Crowded Streets, and I'm like, God, no, that's just not the vibe of Before These Crowded Streets. So I'm like, what
Right.
else is a mellow album? I mean, there's some moments on Crash. There's some moments, and then I was like, no, this is really like Old Man Dave. This is a very different Dave sound. I really think it just sounds like the last 3 albums. So it sounds like there's a new pattern of songwriting. And I would almost like what was right before Groove Grux? I think it was like was it Stand Up? You got your
Yeah.
phone. That's also
I didn't know
not
that
my
was a thing.
favorite. That's also not my favorite. Stand Up is a
No,
Frizzy
that
album
was
for me.
not. my favorite at all.
There's a couple bangers on there, but again, they're probably better live. But as an album as a whole, that's a coaster.
I don't even think there's a lot of stuff that's played from that album. It's so like, I mean, You Might Die Trying. I mean,
There's
Stolen
one.
Away is like my favorite song ever, and I can never get it ever. 105
There's
shows,
one.
and I've had it like twice.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But didn't they play it this last tour? Did they play it this last tour or
Not when I was there. If they did,
like
I
it's
wasn't
been played-
there.
No, maybe it was in Mexico. Did they play it in Mexico?
No. I don't know.
Maybe that was in my dreams.
Yeah. Well, when I lived in Manhattan, I lived on 54th and 3rd. So I like to think the song was about me, that he saw me walking by.
Oh, Louisiana
Clearly
Bayou.
it's
He just never stopped playing Louisiana Bayou.
Oh,
Steady
God.
As We Go got some attention last tour, a little bit towards the end of the tour. Steady As We Go. You Might Die Trying is every now and then. But like American Baby and Dream Girl, like I don't know. Did he hit Old Dirt Hill? I feel like he did Old Dirt Hill like recently.
Yeah, he definitely did when I definitely heard it this summer. I feel like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this
I'll
is
have to
not.
check my stats.
You Might Die Trying is that one live is a heater.
It's
That was a
oh my
heater.
god, it's my favorite. It's my favorite live.
Yeah. So I would say that's the winner off of that album. But yeah, so that's the thing is that the Monster song doesn't even belong on that one. So
I feel like it's just very Some Devil because it's just him.
True.
Like
that would
very
fit.
Some Devilish.
Oh. Is the sound the same though? Because wasn't Some Devil like really like a twangy guitar?
It is. It was electric.
Just the album itself, I meant.
Yeah, just the fact that he was solo. Yeah, that's cool.
Like just a solo album, yeah.
I wonder if he'll ever do that again. Or like just a him and Tim.
Solo album?
Yeah.
I think if there's
if
ever
that's
like a retirement, like if Carter should ever retire, I don't see the band going on because
I think Carter will retire.
They will
first
not
before
replace
any of
Carter
them.
with anyone else. So
no,
then
no
maybe
way.
it's wrong. But I'm not looking forward to that, so I'm not going to talk about it.
Carter will retire first because his wrists have been bad.
Yeah.
I guess.
Arthritis.
I have a different theory.
Who do you think will
I have a different
Who do you think
theory.
will go first?
I mean, I don't know. There's no way to know that. But I think that when Carter leaves, depending on the time of that, I really do think Buddy could not do what he does, but could continue the band.
What about
think
you
so.
think he can do a drum percussion on his keyboards?
No. I think he can still play I think he can play the drums. I mean, I know he can play the drums.
Boy.
I just don't think like he's
not Carter. No. He would not be to the level of Carter in any way.
Would be mad. People would.
But I'd almost rather see him come in and than to see a new drummer come in. I don't know.
They would never get a new drummer.
I don't think like I feel like it would be like a Dave and Tim, and that would be like
it would be Dave and Tim. I don't even think they would bring in Buddy. I think it would just turn into Dave and Tim. Honestly.
I'm not even like thinking about it. Like shoot,
well,
go away.
Tim's got his own side career, so really. Tim's got his own side career. Rashawn's got his own side career. Jeff Coffin's got his own side career.
Yeah.
So really, if Carter retires, Dave has a solo career with Tim. Tim's got his own career. The horn players got their own career. Buddy's got his own thing. So really, Stefan is screwed. Stefan's got nothing. So if Carter retires, and Stefan's done.
Poor guy.
No, Stefan will is the best. Someone will take Stefan.
I love to know that the horn players play for other bands and like other events and late night shows and stuff like that.
Totally.
Like Rashawn was sitting in on SNL. He sits on with like other bands and stuff. That's so fun. That's fun.
I love to see them out of their element, or at least out of the Dave Matthews Band element.
I saw Tim Reynolds like a couple months ago. He played in New Jersey, and like he's actually like he has a very nice voice, and like he's so funny. It was great to see him as like the front man. You know, if you can ever see him live, like TR3 or whatever, like go.
Is
it was so much fun. It was all just like Dave fans there. Like
I bet
so much fun.
Yeah. He
did a lot of like good covers, like Zeppelin and stuff like that. It was great.
He reminds me of Teller from Penn and Teller. He's like the silent type.
Totally. He wasn't silent though. He was talkative.
That's funny. Oh, that's funny. I don't know if I could hear his voice on the phone. I wouldn't know it was him.
Oh, you would
No,
never
me either.
go listen to his voice. You'll be shocked.
Oh,
Because he
really?
broke his trachea. He broke his trachea once, so it's like very like
Gravel?
high pitched.
Oh, high
Like you would
pitch.
never know.
Oh,
Yeah. Something like that. He did something to like his trachea or vocal
oh
cords.
my
He can
God.
sing, but when he talks, it's very high pitched.
Oh my goodness. I did not know. I knew he had a high pitched voice, but I did not know the reason. I thought,
I
well,
think
that's just the way he is or whatever.
Don't quote me on that.
I don't know. No, no, no. No one gets quoted on this show because everything is hearsay. You cannot stand up in court. Okay, so let's just finish out this podcast with saying I know that Monsters is going to be a great addition to the band. I think that, as we hear it more and as we kind of see them perform it, that we'll fall in love with it even more. Again, I'm the same as you guys. I've heard so many songs, and initially when I heard it, it just was not. I wasn't dying to hear it again until I made myself and listen, and then I, found whatever it was that made me love it. But I think it's the same way with this song, and I think it will be this way with the album because I think that Break Free will be a little different. Did it sound a little different than what we think when we hear Break Free?
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
Okay.
It was subdued. It was subdued. Yeah, and I almost slower.
It was.
Do you think so?
I heard it once and then I couldn't get back to it again. Like, and now when I try to go to the link that I sent to like my friends, like it just takes you to Monsters. It doesn't open.
Ooh, someone got in trouble.
Can't hear it. I heard it once.
They weren't ready to get to put out a
Someone
third.
messed up.
That's crazy. Someone's gonna get fired.
Big time. Big time. But thank you.
They used to be a losing band.
I'm not complaining.
Could we freeze again?
So Kelly, to finish.
Oh my God.
Am I freezing?
No, you're good. I'm good.
To finish up our 420 episode,
I just popped
Kelly has a couple of she has some grab bags that she's going to show us. What did
you want to see my grab bags?
I want to see everybody's stuff that they got today. For
Wait,
420.
I want to touch on one more subject for Monsters. I want to just postulate one more question. Yes. Where is it? So the set list game is always. That's all you're going to hear on Lawn is what's next. Oh, that's unusual to hear on top. Oh, that's usually a mid song. Oh, that's usually a closer. Oh, that's weird that they're like when they start with Pig, I'm like, that's a mid song. That's a mid to low song. Like it always shocks me when they open with Pig, or if they
Pig is my favorite opener. Pig Stone.
Those
two are my favorite.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. Imagine if they close with One Sweet World. You know what I mean? Like as real big Dave heads, we just know that there's like an order of operations and what a song feels like a beginner, middle, end.
Definitely a middle.
Yeah, where do we think Monsters is going to hit? Where in the set?
In the middle.
Think so?
I think in the middle, or maybe an encore one.
Yeah.
On his own.
Yeah. Do you think? Okay, is he going to keep up with that pattern of doing a solo and a band encore?
I guess so. I mean, he did it all fall and all summer. So
yeah. You're right. I think that could be the slower encore. You're totally right.
That or Singing from the Windows. I'm done with that.
Mm-hmm. I haven't been able to emotionally connect with that song yet. I don't know why. I don't think I've heard it enough times.
I only did because I was in New York City during COVID. And like, I know the song is about the people in Italy, but I just remember like clapping outside my window. So I think of New York during COVID when that happened. When I heard it at Madison Square Garden, I guess 2000, what year are we in? 2021.
I don't know.
It really, like I heard it a bunch of times, but like for some reason the last night and we played it like last year, like it really like struck a chord with me and like in Madison Square Garden in New York City because he talked about the city and everything like that. And like that night it hit me. Like for some reason I got like the chills. But like I heard it 5 other times throughout that summer and it never like hit me that way. So
what was your first post-COVID show for Dave?
Oh, Raleigh. Right there.
Oh, Raleigh?
Yay!
Yeah.
Raleigh.
Mine was Pine Knob.
Raleigh!
Nice. Yeah.
No way. Let me see that closer. What does it say? So damn lucky. Oh my God. So tell us the story. How did that happen?
I went to Raleigh to see the show. My husband was in New York or New Jersey and his work his work colleagues were at a bar at this hotel, and he's like, go meet my friends for a drink or my coworkers and go say hi to them or whatever. So we get there and there are black tour buses everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, is the band staying here? So, we just kind of walked around the hallways and we really just like bumped into him and Rob. And yeah, I was a complete asshole. Like, I wish I prepared myself for like, I won't say how old I am, but since I've been seeing them, I prepared myself, and when it happens, forget it. It's like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I could
not speak to him.
I would cry. I would probably just cry.
I mean, I did. I told him I loved him, and I said thank you. But that was it.
I always tell everyone that I don't think I ever want to meet them because I will just lose my mind or not be able to talk, or I'll just make a fool of myself.
I think you would
so
miss
it's better
that disconnect you have with the artist, because now he's like a real person, and we have.
It was so quick. Like, there was no disconnect. Like,
he's still God.
Yeah.
No,
it was a magical moment.
The only way I want to hang out with him is like if we can be like around a bonfire smoking a joint. I feel like I could talk to him then. 100%.
See, I don't know that I would want to do a meetup. I wouldn't want to do like a meet and greet. I'm like, what am I going to ask him? Like, I would love to just like say hello and thank him, but I would never want to do a backstage meet and greet, because I can just imagine him sitting there with his hands in his pockets, like, all right, you guys, what do you want from me? And I'm like, I just thanks, I guess. Thank you for 25 years.
Yeah.
Like, I just wouldn't even know what to say.
It doesn't matter. You won't say it. Even if you like wrote it down, you won't say it. Or maybe you will. You're a wordsmith. You might say it.
I'm good at both.
I probably would. So show us what's in your bag. Show us what you got today.
I told the lady, and when I walked in, it was actually a girlfriend of mine from high school, but I said I want something that's going to be light, bright, laughing, euphoric, hanging out with friends, watching Netflix, and I want to like laugh and stuff. So I was like, I want to feel euphoric, and she goes, do you mean euphoria, like right here? So she just had it right for me. Honeydew melon. I don't like honeydew melons, but this one is 10 milligrams of THC with 5 milligrams of CBD, and I love a CBD. That's not even heavy, but I love a heavy CBD gummy, because then you get like that. That one's really good for pain, Renae, because I know you take yours a lot for pain. If you get something heavy CBD, your body feels so good. And I got the sleep ones, 5 THC and 10 CBN. And then I got some tranquil ones that are 5 THC, 10 CBD. Oh, which I didn't realize. So wait, how is it? 5 THC, 10 CBN. The tranquil are 5 THC, 10 CBD. So the tranquil, I bet that's for more like chilling and watching a movie. That's Netflix and chill. Euphoria is gonna be hanging out with friends and sleep. So that one is Tree Town. This is a new company to me. Like what they have at my dispo is going to be different than yours, but
Thank you. Well, I want to wish everyone a happy 420. I have done it all day. It's been a marathon of weed and music, and honestly,
I like to be sober for work.
It was a good day. It was a good day. Well, I mean,
I think he released it today on purpose.
Yeah.
I forgot to say that. He definitely released it on purpose. Like, he definitely released it today.
Oh,
I don't think it was.
Do you think he still does that? Do you think he's still real drug heavy? Because he's, and again, I don't mean to extend your podcast, but I think that is definitely a discussion that we've had before, but it's one of my favorites when people want to shit on Dave, and I just cannot convince people that he is not the college fake white boy hippie, what do you call it? Puka shells, weed, the pajama pants Dave that we all know and love.
Oh, he admitted to doing a lot of mushrooms during COVID. He admitted that on stage. And that's what Walk Around the Moon is about. It's about a mushroom trip.
Yeah.
So
I think he's transitioned from weed to mushrooms, but I mean, even just the sound in general, and again, we can talk about this another time, but just the sound in general is really not like hacky sack pajama pants Dave anymore.
No.
He's wearing like skinny black jeans
More like
and working out.
microdosing, like let's talk about like life kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh my God. Well, guys, thank you so much for helping me explore this topic of our newly released song that we all knew was coming. We just didn't. And so we've got, I think, 1 month until the album drops. Has anyone pre-ordered it so far?
No, there's no point. I'll just grab it when I grab it.
I haven't.
I get it on on YouTube Music. I pay for it that way.
Oh, see, I actually collect the CDs, so I will go get a physical CD because I collect them. I like.
Yeah, I mean, I will get one, but I didn't pre-order one.
Yeah.
I'll get one to see.
I'm looking forward. Yeah. I'm looking forward to the new album, and I'm also looking forward to, of course, all of the shows. So I don't know, will we be at any shows together this year?
Are you going to Creek End, Renae?
Yes.
Me?
Sam.
I told you where I was going. I don't know if you guys are going to any of them.
That's right.
No. You're all East Coast. I'm all the way in Ohio.
And then Gorge.
Yeah, no, that's too much for me.
That's right.
If I go to Gorge, I need to go with like a seasoned group that can just like take me under their wing and like that I don't want to have to like set anything up. I just want to like squeeze in with a group that's already got something going, you know.
Oh, I'm staying at like Oasis. I'm going with another Gorge virgin, and we're just gonna like pack a suitcase and like
risk it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Hey, Sam, I will be at the Gorge this year.
Yay!
Yeah, it's my first time.
Yay,
I'm
mine
like Kelly.
too.
I wasn't going to go until someone could just basically say, this is how much cash I need, and I'll plan everything for you. And I was like, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Give me the cash and I'll make the setup for you. That's nice.
Yeah, I don't want to think about it. And I mean, I had a couple of things like I don't want to tent camp. I don't want to do any of that shit because I need a bathroom. Like I just need my own bathroom.
Sure.
And so, yay, I'm going to go for my very first time. I'm excited, but I'm also super nervous.
You're going to cry.
We'll have to have like a Gorge Virgin podcast.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. I know lots of virgins that are going. So, guys, thanks so much for helping me tonight.
Thank you for having us.
If you are listening to this on the podcast and you want to watch it, just be sure to tune in to our YouTube channel, which is under The Space Between with Renae Lipspire on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, click and comment. I can't say none of that shit straight, so just cut it all out.
No, be a real person and keep that in.
Okay. Andy, leave it all in. I don't give a fuck.
No, she's going to end this and email Andy, like, definitely take it out.
I really don't give a fuck. So
oh, no.
There's that. I give 2 fucks about you guys and 1 fuck about Dave Matthews Band. And that's all the fucks I got for tonight. So...